We should have seen this coming. I mean, America, how did we miss this for so long? How are people still missing it? It started with Joe the plumber.
It's not that I want to punish your success. I just want to make sure that everybody who is behind you, that they've got a chance at success too. Everybody's so pinched that business is bad for everybody. And I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody.
I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody. Okay, actually, we should have known it before then. It didn't start with him. It started with the church he sat in for 20 years. It is Marxist. If it was confined just to that one isolated incident, maybe you could say, okay. I mean, the mind-numbing ignorance of the media, oh, look, Glenn, it's just one comment made in the heat of the campaign. Let it go. Okay, fine. But it wasn't just that one comment. It started even before he sat 20 years in a church that was Marxist.
To avoid being mistaken for such a sellout, I chose my friends carefully. The more politically active black students, the foreign students, the Chicanos, the Marxist professors and structural feminists and punk rock performance poets.
Oh, gee, that was college. Who wasn't a Marxist, or at least didn't hang out with Marxists and structural feminists in college? I didn't. I don't even know what a structural feminist is. I don't know anybody who hung out or hangs out or knows any Marxist outside of this city and currently in Washington or Berkeley, California. But let's not go to the far distant past. Let's just fast forward to Professor Obama as he talks about the Constitution in 2001.
One of the, I think, the tragedies of the civil rights movement was because the civil rights movement became so court-focused. I think that there was a tendency to lose track of the political and community organizing and activities on the ground that are able to put together the actual coalitions of power through which you bring about redistributive change.
The coalitions of power that the community organizing groups on the ground can bring together that will bring about redistributive change. You couple that with this from last year.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Okay, I've made the case on this program night after night after night, and apparently it's such a strong case that absolutely no one wants to challenge it. Nobody in the White House will challenge it. Oh, they'll make fun of me, they'll tear me apart, they'll go into my past. All kinds of stuff are happening in my personal life now that you would not believe. Yes, you would. You've seen Washington games play all the time. But they won't challenge. They won't call me. Communists, revolutionaries, socialists, Marxists, followers of Chairman Mao, appointed by Obama to the executive branch in positions of the government. Call me. Explain it. Explain it any other way. Call me right now. Call me. The phone will ring right now. Call me. We set up a phone line to the White House. They could call and correct any falsehood. Call me. They can't. They can't. Unbeknownst to me, when we installed this phone and gave the person on the other end of the phone this phone number, the only one that has it, unbeknownst to me, the person we gave it to is a follower of Mao.
And then the third lesson and tip actually come from two of my favorite political philosophers, Mao Zedong and Mother Teresa, not often coupled with each other. But the two people that I turn to most.
You know what? The night they got rid of Van Jones, who, let me show you this, just to refresh your memory, an admitted communist, was shouting, spreading the wealth ideology from the rooftops. Van Jones.
No more broken treaties. No more broken treaties. Give them the wealth. Give them the wealth.
The night they got rid of him, the very next day they announced another anti-free market guy. The administration never addressed the Van Jones issue, never. Nor they have addressed the Anita Dunn issue, apart from her lame excuse that she was joking. No rational human being believes that once you've heard that tape. There's been no response to the guy that was appointed the day after Van Jones was escorted out of the White House. They appointed new manufacturing czar, the guy who's going to help us fix manufacturing, Ron Bloom, and his bizarre disavowal of the free market system.
We get the joke. We know that the free market is nonsense. We know that the whole point is to game the system, to beat the market, or at least find someone who'll pay you a lot of money because they're convinced that there is a free lunch. We know this is largely about power, that it's an adults-only, no-limit game. We kind of agree with Mao that political power comes largely from the barrel of a gun.
They are not going to call because they have no excuse. It's true. How about Mark Lloyd, the FCC diversity czar, who said this about Chavez?
In Venezuela, Chavez really had an incredible revolution, democratic revolution.
An incredible revolution. Science czar John Holdren talked about the need to redistribute America's wealth.
I think ultimately the rate of growth of material consumption is going to have to come down, and there's going to have to be a degree of redistribution of how much we consume in terms of energy and material resources in order to leave room for people who are poor to become more prosperous.
Carol Browner, she's a socialist. Brian Deese, he's 31 years old. He doesn't believe in free market. How about Andy Stern? He doesn't believe in the free market. Let me just give you the latest one from, again, Barney Frank.
The right wing took control of government and ruined it. They gave it a bad reputation. Now that we are trying in every front to increase the role of government in the regulatory area, we run into this public opinion that says, hey, those are the guys who screwed up Katrina.
Increase the size of government. I mean, at this point, you have to try to not pay attention. I mean, you have to be working to miss the pattern here. Out of all of the things that I have told you about, that we have been right on, some of these things I told you about 2 years ago. The dollar, the banking crisis. I can't tell you, for 2 years people made fun of me. Oh, that's ridiculous. The banking crisis, the stimulus, TARP, Van Jones, Anita Dunn, Anita Dunn's husband. We were right last week. And you don't even know that story yet. The czars, Acorn, Cars.gov, the list goes on and on. Look at what they're doing to the free market system. They are dismantling it brick by brick, which happen to be the exact words that a radical group that has the ear of the White House and is met at the White House is calling for, the dismantling of capitalism brick by brick. Are you willing to have the greatest force in the world that the world has ever seen, freedom, and the free market system go away in the middle of the night, taken from you and your children's future, because we're arguing the wrong questions with your friends? Decide now.